For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's two state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. Good afternoon, everyone out there in the Long Island driving world. Welcome to Crash Course Radio with your humble host, Peter Crouch. Thank you for joining us here, Crash Course, as we ease into our second year. Having a blast as always, more fun than anybody should be legally allowed to have. All right, welcome to the show. My name, of course, is Peter Crouch, and I am the founder and owner of Collision Services Network. Please go to collisionservicenetwork.com for all your insurance, auto body, and what we like to say affiliated business needs, right? So if you're looking for insurance products or you need a personal injury attorney, you will find that and much more at collisionservicenetwork.com. And I would be remiss if I didn't make sure I covered this. My engineer is jumping up and down frantically in the booth. Only kidding. Folks, we just continue to expand and grow here, and it's exciting. Like I said, if you've been with us from the beginning, never would have thought, in my wildest dreams that we would be here, let alone that we continue to grow and expand. As you know, we've expanded to an hour format. It is a live show. We are now also available on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, so if we got people out there that are techie, that's not me, but that's why I have good people helping me, though, to get us where we need to be. All right, so we are on Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. Really cool stuff. The YouTube channel is finally functional. All right, we were pushing that there for a while, but we finally were able to launch that. Exciting things there. All right, and of course, if you would like to talk to me, 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. Get you into the wonderfully wild studios of 1039 here in Little Old Me, and you can talk to me, whatever's on your mind. If you're looking for a body shop, if you have a body shop, if you have an insurance claim, you're filing an insurance claim, you're scratching your head, you just don't know what to do, give me a call, all right, and we're going to be able to help you out. All right, so before we really kick things off here, I got to give a shout out to my friends at Village Auto Body in Southampton. Jim, hello. Joe, hello. Thanks for joining the show today, all right? Bunch of good guys out there, folks. If you're causing a little bit of a mess, all right, that's the folks you need to see out there, all right? See Jim or Joe at Village Auto Body in Southampton. All right, great people, great shop. They're going to take care of you. They're going to fix your car the way you want it, not the way the insurance company does. And, of course, like we say here all the time, they're going to represent your interests and not the interests of the insurance companies. All right, so thanks for joining us this afternoon, guys. Again, folks, 631-451-1039. Put you in touch with us and what we're talking about. If you want to comment on any of the subject matter or you want to weigh in on a question, by all means, go ahead. I want to begin by saying how important it is as consumers, all right, that we understand our rights, expectations, and options, all right, when dealing with the insurance company and why choosing just any body shop is a very bad idea today, folks. Listen, it might have been, a practical joke 20, 30 years ago, but it's not today. It's a very serious matter. And I've done this before. I did the, guy on the street type of format, right, where I said, hey, I bet you if I run into you, at any time of the day. And I said, hey, you need brakes, right? Somebody just told you, oh my God, your brakes are terrible, or the oil needs to be changed, or the car's making a creaking noise, or the exhaust is horrible. Anything like that, guarantee you that probably 9 out of 10 people will be able to tell me right off the bat where they're bringing the car. Oh, I go to the dealer. I'm going to, Super Tony or, Super T's Auto Repair. It's amazing, right? Most of us can come up with a guy right off the top of our head. Oh, my family's been using this guy. He's a great guy. He fixes our cars. Now, I've played the same scenario. So you just came out from shopping, you're just enjoying a nice movie, and you come up to your car, and some jabooks just smashed your car, right? And your door's dented, your fender, maybe worse, you got to call a tow truck. And I asked you, I run up and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that happened to you. That's horrible. Where are you going to bring your car? And most people are probably going to look at me and go, I don't know. Right? So it's quite an amazing thing to watch and hear. And I speak from experience with that, on both sides of the bridge, right? I worked in the insurance industry for almost 30 years as an insurance professional. Okay, so I dealt with that, all right, obviously from the insurance side, but now having been on the body shop side for over 7 years, okay, I can tell you that is very prevalent with people. Okay, even so with retained customers, right? You still see that happening. All right, and that's because of a lot of other reasons that we talk about on the show. But so we address things like that here. Right? I like to say I read the things you don't want to read. I listen to the things you don't want to listen to, and then we cherry pick out and we paraphrase and capture things that we think are important to you. And I get to mention it here on Crash Course Radio every Tuesday from 3 to 4. All right, and what do we always say? If you've been listening to me now, the mantra is we're giving you information and knowledge you need and can use and advice you can trust. Folks, it's never been truer than before today. All right, information's great. We know that. All right, and the old cliche, information's great. Power of information, all good stuff. But I say we got to go one more step. All right, which is what I do here on Crash Course. All right, and we do a Collision Services Network. All right, there's a whole treasure trove of additional information. We go into depth and detail about other subject matter related to what we talk about here. But information is good, but it's better if you actually know what to do with it, right? So it's almost being like the smartest guy in the room, but you're not in any position to influence anything. So you might as well be the dumbest guy, right? The dumbest person. So that's what we're doing here. I love doing it. I'm psyched to get behind this mic every Tuesday afternoon, and we're going to keep on doing it, all right, for as long as we can into the future. Right, because we are educating the Long Island consumer on matters involving auto body repair, collision, insurance, all right, insurance claims, personal injury, and insurance products. All right, again, we realize this isn't stuff you're going to bring up at the barbecue or you're going to talk about, out on the boat or on the fishing trip. It's not going to happen, all right? Trust me. I was an insurance professional. It didn't happen with me, all right? I mean, I wanted nothing to do with it after I walked out the door. It's dry stuff, but it's very important. Right, this is the irony in all this. All right, we've showed you that here on Crash Course Radio. Right, we prove it to you. It touches our lives on a daily basis and throughout our entire life. And most of these things that we talk about, you simply can't exist as a civil society without being involved in it. Right? And what am I talking about? Insurance. Right? Can't exist without it. And look, we want to reiterate too that we're not here to demonize insurance companies. All right, they have a role to play, and it's a very important role. Okay, without it, we couldn't have a civil society, right? I mean, let's face it. We all need insurance products. However, okay, and this is very important distinction here, it is the humble opinion of Collision Services Network that the role the insurance company plays should be very minimal. Okay, it should be certainly, okay, I would argue factually that it should be a much more diminished role than what we see today. And I'm speaking from fact here, folks, because when I started in the industry back in '86, okay, 3/4 of what they're involved with now would have been nowhere on anybody's radar. In fact, a lot of it was just out and out not allowed, right? Either by state regulation or simply by company policy. So it's quite an amazing thing to see about the evolution of the insurance companies. What we like to say in Collision Services Network is, you got to remember the insurance companies are what? They're in the insurance business. All right? Think about that for a second. They're not in the collision business. And they're not in the personal injury business. They're in the insurance industry. So if I'm buying insurance, I'm going to listen to an insurance professional, whether it be an agent or broker, right? It's almost like what I like to say jokingly, right? It's funny. We like to, try and get a little levity in here. If I got a heart problem, am I going to podiatry? I don't know. Maybe he's the last doctor around. He's still an MD. But I'm probably really stretching things there, okay? So same thing, folks. Right? I don't differentiate here. All right. Insurance companies are in the insurance business. That's what they do, and they do it very well, and that's great. And they should stay in that box. Okay. So that's not the case today. All right. And we feel that because of that, this has had a very detrimental effect on the industry. All right. And that's why here at Crash Course Radio, well, Collision Services Network more so, but as the voice of Collision Services Network and the real voice of the auto body industry here in Long Island, All right, we say our mission is clear: to support and promote the independently, privately owned, operated auto body industry and all affiliated businesses, and educate and inform the consumer as to their rights, options, expectations related to an insurance claim. All right, so stick with us. We got much more coming. We're going to go to the stack of stuff today. Haven't done that in a while. I got some interesting articles. You're going to want to tune in. This is really interesting stuff. All right, and we're going to also talk about that nasty little idea called copay. All right, for your with insurance and having your car fixed. Can't believe it. Copay. All right, I got a nervous twitch when I read that. All right, we will see you on the other side of the break. Oh, the low rider. All right. Anybody in my age group knows what the low rider is, right? Those are some cool guys back in the 60s, maybe the 70s, with the fancy cars that could actually go high and low. I guess they had some kind of gas suspension system in there. Pretty nifty stuff, right? The low rider. Pretty cool stuff. Hey, anyway, welcome to Crash Course Radio with your host, Peter Krausch. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. All right, and of course, I am the owner and founder of Collision Services Network. Go to Collision Services Network, please, if you need to find a reliable professional body shop, all right, that will fix your car the way you want it fixed, not the way the insurance guys do. All right, and is going to represent your interests and not the interests of the insurance companies. Very big distinction there, right? We've talked about it quite a bit here at Crash Course, and we will continue to do so because that's what we do here every Tuesday afternoon. All right, I enjoy every minute of it. I get to talk to you fine folks out there across the wide-fruited plain of Long Island. All right, and we're going to keep doing that. I tell you, it's raw talent on loan from God. I don't know where else it would come from. Hey, 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. All right, that gets you into the studio here, talk to little old me. Speaking of talking little old me, you know, we expanded the show with 4 segments live, right? So the last segment I like to call open mic. But I'm going to throw the question out there today because I don't think this got a lot of traction, and people listening have got to have an opinion on this. So in other parts of the country, some body shops, all right, in more than one state, by the way. I think it's 3, maybe 4 states already. Some body shops have already started experimenting, all right, with a little thing called copays. All right, now we all should get a nervous twitch because that's what I got when I read this article. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they're actually considering this. So some shops have begun to consider this as a strategy to combat, all right, what they perceive to be the insurance company's inability or inability, all right, disinterest in paying for processes, materials, procedures, that they feel they need to do, right, to fix the car, to return it to pre-loss condition. So basically what they've come up with is a scheme to pass that cost on to you. Now, mind you, in addition to your deductible, right? So if you have a $500 deductible and you have a $10,000 job, you got to pay the shop $500. These guys want to turn around and say, well, we're going to do what's called copay, all right, or co-insurance. Ring a bell, right? Your health insurance, you always see you have your deductible, and then you have your co-insurance, and you have your copay. So they actually are suggesting that they develop some kind of a process where they can bill their customer this copay, all right, for the difference in what I would argue is their inadequacy, all right, or lack of professionalism, certainly lack of ability to negotiate effectively with the insurance adjuster. And folks, there are many different angles to address this issue. Mind you, it can be a very challenging issue. Okay, again, I say this often here behind this mic. I'm not just a talking head or an academic, right? I'm a real guy working in this industry every day. All right, I work at V&J Auto Body, which, by the way, is one of our amazing sponsors. Thank you very much, V&J, for supporting Crash Course and Collision Services Network. It's a 21st century oriented shop. Right? It's a very large production facility, 20,000 plus square feet. We have a tremendous overhead, and I can tell you that we are very effective at negotiating, all right, myself and my partner, all right, both ex-insurance guys, okay, but it's our ability to communicate effectively, all right, demonstrate and illustrate why we need the things we need, okay, and what we have to do to the car. And believe me, folks, that is a skill set, okay? That is a skill set. If somebody out there listens to me as a lawyer, all right, or an arbitrator or anything like that, all right, any of these lines of business, you're probably nodding your head. That's a skill set. That's something that you develop over time and with experience. Nevertheless, all right, not to get long in the tooth about that. So this is something that's going on, and we need to be aware of that because these things usually tend to have legs, and they eventually end up in other parts of the country. And I can definitely see this making its way to the Northeast. All right, so I want to get people's feedback on this. What do you think about that? I mean, do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is something that you would be comfortable with, dealing with? I mean, if you had your car fixed somewhere and the guy said, listen, you owe me $500 on your collision deductible. Oh, and by the way, your copay is $600 because, I basically sucked at doing my job and I couldn't negotiate effectively. So rather than try something different, I'm just going to pass the course on to you. I know what my opinion is on that. I know it would never happen at V&J, okay? And I can probably guarantee it's not going to happen at a collision services network shops, folks, okay? Simply not going to happen. All right, and the deductible thing, we've gone there many times, and we'll go back to that again. The deductible thing, as I've explained before, it's not some nefarious, mysterious thing. It's not grand larceny if you don't pay it. It's not a criminal act. As some of these inexperienced adjusters, they'll tell me, "Oh, it's insurance fraud." And I laugh at them. Who told you that? It's hysterical. And a lot of people, a lot of public, all right, are convinced of that. Okay, and this is due to wrong information. Okay, wrong information, which comes from, unfortunately, a lot of times the only source that they have, which is their insurance company. Right? They actually convince people that this is some kind of, criminality. It's illegal. It's not, folks. Your deductible is a contractual thing. It's not a criminal thing. All right? If anything, it's a civil matter. All right? So basically, it's a contract between you and the insurance guys. You tell them how much you're willing to pay. They tell you what they're going to pay above that. All right, and that's how the process goes. If you don't pay it, that's no sweat off their chin. Because guess what? If you have a $5,000 job, you're not getting a check for $5,000. You're getting a check for $4,500. So you've already paid it, right? So there's no mystique there. But I digress, okay? Because let's say that you didn't hear about Collision Service Network. You ended up at Shop ABC, and they just really didn't do the right thing by you. Or even worse, you ended up at an insurance-sponsored shop, all right, or what you might hear referred to as a direct repair program, right? Very, very bad. Okay, there's probably only one circumstance where that may be something to consider, right? And I've mentioned that before. All right, other than that, no good. Okay, you want to avoid these scenarios at all costs, folks. You never want to have your car repaired at an insurance shop. All right, there's a variety of reasons. And again, this is the opinion of Collision Services Network. Okay, based on my experience in that industry, based on my experience on the auto collision side, and also based on my knowledge base, all right, in investigation of this matter from a personal and professional standpoint. All right, so a pretty good framework to stand on when making that statement. All right, but regardless, let's say you ended up there, and now the guy says, "Hey, how you doing, Mr. Smith? I got your car right out there. Don't worry, that it doesn't look good because you're probably going to get a car that looks two-toned because a lot of these insurance-sponsored shops, they don't pay for a blending, all right, which is basically color matching. But that's a topic for another day. So now the guy tells you owe him $500 because you told the insurance guys that, and then he says, "Oh, by the way, there's a copay," because he agreed to fix cars the way they wanted it, and didn't get the right amount of money to do the job, so he figures he's going to collect the difference from you. All right? I don't see a good outcome there for me if I'm the consumer or the customer. All right? So very bad. So please, let me hear from somebody out there, 631-451-1039. All right? 631-451-1039. Let's get a call. Let's get somebody, pick your brain, pick my brain. What do you think about this? All right, I can definitely see where this could end up here in some form or fashion. All right, copay for auto body collision work. Not a good thing, folks. All right, something to keep front and center because it will make its way here. All right, so it looks like we got about a minute and a half to go. I want to throw this out there real quick. So this came across my radar, okay, in Fender Bender magazine. All right, really good publication that I stay on top of for you. A recent AAA study shows that new automated emergency braking systems, or what's normally referred to as AEB, they struggle at high speeds and have difficulty sensing vehicles that move in the driver's path. All right, now they tested 4 vehicles, 2022 vehicles, Chevy Equinox, Ford Explorer, a Honda CR-V, and a Toyota RAV. The results revealed by the AEB system prevented rear-end collisions in 17 out of 20 tests at 30 miles per hour. Now, listen to this before we go to break. This is interesting. At 30, when the speed jumped to 40, those results went down to about 6 out of 20, all right, in rear-end collision prevention rate. Dramatic change. The study also noted that impact speeds were reduced by 62% during test runs that ended up ultimately in a crash. T-bone tests, as well as left turn tests in front of oncoming vehicles, were also conducted. That outcome was very, very bad. Okay, virtually had a very limited diminished effect on the outcome of that. All right, just wanted to throw that out there. Interesting stuff, all right? We'll talk more about that down the road when we talk about technology. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break here. I'll see you guys on the other side. For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Autobody's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Autobody by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Crash Course Radio with your humble host, Peter Krausch. All right, this is a live show, so if you'd like to talk to me, 631-451-1039 will get you to do that. Hey, welcome, everyone. Listen, I want to say thank you to all our loyal supporters. All right, if you're a frequent listener to the show, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we continue to grow in both listenership and viewership. All right, that is cool. If you're just turning the dial and stopping by, all right, welcome. Stay tuned. You're always going to walk away from the show scratching your head saying, wow, I didn't think about that, or I didn't know that. All right, so that's what we're doing here. All right, having more fun than anybody should be allowed and frustrating the heck out of the insurance guys with one arm tied behind my back. I love doing it every Tuesday afternoon. Of course, I get to talk to you fine folks out there. Hey, don't want to be remiss here. My engineer's jumping up and down, pulling on his hair again. We are on Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. Really psyched about the YouTube thing because that was a kind of a creature of mine that started and then stopped. All right, but thanks to some new talent that we brought on for Collision Services Network, we were able to finally bring that together. So that is now up and live. And we have the Spotify thing going. So if you're into that type of stuff, well, go knock yourself out. You'll find us over there. And, of course, Instagram and Facebook. So go to collisionservicenetwork.com. Get yourself familiar there, please. We have a lot of useful tools there. And, of course, our network of amazing, and I say that without reservation, amazing network partners, okay, across all aspects of the collision industry. So starting with the auto body and collision, you'll find an amazing network partner there. If you need a personal injury lawyer, same there. And, of course, we do have an insurance broker, all right, DKM Risk Managers. Fascinating, amazing bunch of people up there, and they can represent all of your insurance interests, all right? I mean, business, personal, what have you. Hey, folks, collisionservicenetwork.com. What can I say, right? It's the single source for all of your questions, needs, all right, when it comes to filing an insurance claim, locating a reliable auto body shop. And we also help you answer things like this here. My insurance company stated that their shops, their body shops, all right, their direct repair shops, have agreed to their repair criteria, and that would benefit me. Is this true? All right. Now, I'm just going to turn right off the bat. All right, it's not true. Okay, and you can go there, collisionservicenetwork.com. You could find that, and also other things like this. My insurance company wants me to take photos of my damaged vehicle and submit them to obtain an estimate and payment. Do I have to do this? Of course, I've been telling everyone here for the longest time, no. In fact, absolutely no. Categorically no. Single worst thing you want to do for you, all right, and your claim is take photos and send them up. Folks, first of all, it's a violation of privacy, right? You're sending them information through your private phone. You're sending photos. You're not a professional, All right, you're not a photographer, and you're certainly not a professional licensed adjuster. All right, the folks that have these jobs, these are well-paying, high-quality jobs. Insurance companies have been reducing these jobs for obvious reasons. All right, and by utilizing you, the consumer, all right, or their insured, in helping them fulfill that desire, right? Because if the more people get involved in this process, folks, the less they need licensed qualified adjusters. And like I said, I did that job for many years. It's a very technical job. It involves a lot of education. It involves a lot of experience, on-the-job experience. All right, and these jobs are very high-paying and high-quality jobs. Okay, with a lot of benefits. So please remember, when your insurance company, hey, first of all, what do we say all the time here? Right, you're going to file a claim. All right, you should be calling us before you speak to them, please. But if you can't, or you didn't, and you already did, then absolutely, when they tell you, oh, you got to send us photos, you're simply going to say, nah, I don't think I do, because I listened to that guy on Crash Course Radio, and he pretty much told me what I really need to do. And what you need to do is not do that. Now, you do need to cooperate. You do not have to do that. You do have to make your car available between normal business hours at a location reasonably convenient to you, not them, you. All right, taking photos of your car out in the rain or in the wind or at night, all right, or the cold or the snow, taking pictures of a car and damages, and you have no idea about indirect damages or damages that may or may not be the result of the accident, that's not helping you, okay? And that doesn't fall under the umbrella of cooperating. That falls under the umbrella of helping them save money. Okay. Hey, I think we have a caller on the line. We have Jeff from Babylon. Jeff, welcome to Crash Course Radio.
Hey, thanks for taking the call.
No problem. What's going on?
Yeah, I was interested in finding out about how you handle ceramic coating in the collision business. I'm a custom painter, airbrush artist, and pinstriper, and for us, it's an absolute nightmare. So I was wondering how they handle it in the collision, because nothing sticks to that stuff, and there's no way to take it off.
Yes.
Car gets banged up. How do you handle that?
Well, that's Jeff. That's a great question and a great statement. So Jeff's talking about these new. Listen, back in the '80s and maybe even the '90s, that the thing was these plastic bras they were putting on and all this other stuff. It would yellow and peel. So fast forward 21st century, we've gotten a little more fancier and technical. So now they have a thing called ceramic coating. All right, I liken it to just a little. It's basically clear coat on steroids. All right, so this stuff it's liquid. It's applied in a liquid manner, and it gets brushed onto the car. There's varying degrees of varying levels of coverage, right? And they have different packages depending on how thick the film is on there. And what Jeff is talking about, being a pinstriper or a graphic artist, this imparts quite a challenge to them, because he's right. All right, what this does is ceramic coating is very cosmetic. Okay, I think they tend to oversell this a little bit. All right, but and I'm sure Jeff would agree with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not going to stop dents and everything, folks. It just isn't. Okay, I see this on a daily basis. Look, will it stop surface scratches? Yeah, absolutely. A tree branch or something like that, a light scratch. A guy with a screwdriver, somebody bouncing a card off, it's not going to work. All right, it's very cosmetic, and it really needs to be done right from the start. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I mean, it can be a lot of money. It shouldn't be, but it can be.
It's a lot of money, and they really don't tell people. I just had a customer that wanted some stuff pinstriped and done on a really nice hot rod, and he had ceramic coated. I said, "Have a nice day." There's nothing you can do to make the paint stick to it. It's
correct.
You finish. You
correct.
Can't. So you put it on, and that's it. You can't touch it. And for the price you pay for that stuff, you can get your car professionally detailed for 5 years.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And Jeff Scott raises another good point: is they don't impart what I would say, right? You always have the positive and the negative, right? And I think as a prominent, honest business guy, you should let people know about the negative. And the negative is what Jeff is saying. Well, the negative is actually two things, right? What Jeff is saying, you're not going to be able to enhance the aesthetic value of your car anymore. You just simply can't. So you're going to call Jeff, and Jeff's going to be like, well, I could do a lot of things for you, but not with that on there. All right, so that's the first problem. To answer Jeff's question more directly with the collision industry, It's a little challenging for us because if we need to blend adjacent panels, Jeff, you're absolutely right. We now have to make sure that we're removing that material. I simply can't color blend and clear over that. Now, there's probably guys that are doing it, okay? I've spent enough years in this industry. I'm sure Jeff knows there's probably guys that are going to do it, and that's going to end up being a real catastrophe down the road. The shops that we have on collisionservicenetwork.com, you can be sure they're not going to do that. So Jeff is right. This imparts from the collision service, from the collision angle, it also imparts another level of consideration for us because now we have to, endure more labor, all right, which of course I have to translate that into a need with the insurance guys, all right, because my guys have to remove that. It's got to be removed. You can't do any color matching or adjacent panel anything without removing that material. So, Jeff, that was a great call. Appreciate you calling in and appreciate you listening. All right. Folks, that's an example of, a listener who's in the business, all right, who's informed and wanted to impart his experience, all right, about a very prominent thing that's going on in the industry right now, all right, a very prominent product that's being very marketed and advertised out there, right? But you need to know the upside and the downside, okay? And that's what Jeff was doing there. So great call, Jeff. Appreciate it. Just remember, be careful, all right? Everybody wants to sell, everyone wants to make money, but you need to know what you're buying, okay, and what that's going to end up entailing for you down the road, all right? So great call, Jeff. Hey, folks, listen, when we come back, all right, it's going to be the last segment. Can't believe it. Time just flies because we just have an amazing time here on Crash Course Radio, all right? We'll finish up the show. We're getting back to that copay business. I'm also going to dive into the stack of stuff just a little bit and maybe read a little information off the Spotify. See you in a bit. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Crash Course Radio with your humble host, Peter Krausch. Here live in the studio, as always, 631-451-1039. All right, 631-451-1039. Great call by Jeff there, all right, bringing some, illustrating what's out there, right, with products and how that impacts the consumer. All right, it was a very good call. Ceramic coating, all right, big deal today. All right, it can be overpriced, like he said. You got to be careful. All right, so you want to call Collision Service Network. All right, we'll make sure that we put you in touch with people that are the real deal if that's the thing you're interested in, and make sure you're not overpaying for that because a lot of overpaying going on with that stuff, ceramic coating. All right, they also do vinyl coating still, which has come a long way. It's night and day from what they were doing in the late 80s and 90s, folks. All right, so getting back to where we were going here. All right, I said that earlier. I went into the stack of stuff, and I just mentioned this test that they did, AAA, the study on the AEB systems, right? The automated emergency braking systems, right? This is the thing that you buy the car and the dealer tells you, this thing stops automatically. You won't get in an accident. Wrong answer. Okay, apparently that's not how the data is playing out, okay? So you need to be aware of this, okay? Because this is another thing. Kind of gets back to what Jeff was saying about the ceramic coating. All right, I don't really think that they sell this stuff. I mean, first of all, I want to say they're probably not as informed as they should be, right? Technically speaking, but it's used to sell cars, right? Oh, it's great. It's got the AEB, it's got the radar, it's got this, it's got the lane departure, it's blind spot, and you can just put a blindfold on, sit back, and go to sleep, and this thing will take care of everything. That's pretty much the way they sell some of these cars. All right, but folks, honestly, it's just not playing out that way. All right, so I saw another example of this months ago where they did a test regarding, I think it's called accident mitigation or accident avoidance systems. I have it on my Explorer. You're backing out, you can't see left or right, and all of a sudden, beep, beep, beep. It's letting you know that some guy's coming. I mean, listen, are they reducing the frequency? Yeah, but they're not necessarily stopping the collision itself. Okay, and in this case here, what the test showed is there was a 62% reduction in impact speed, which that's good, right? It's a good thing. It's going to lessen the likelihood of injuries and lower the extent of the damages and stuff. But point is, I think this stuff is oversold. Okay, I think they really have oversold this stuff and convinced the public that These cars are almost at the point where it's, like George Jetson. You get in the thing and it just takes off and there you go. Not happen. Okay. Might happen, I guess, right down the road, but it's not there yet. All right. So very interesting study there. Hey, I want to just, I want to come back around to something that's very important, right? Because this is what we're really about here. This is the real focus of Crash Course Radio, right? Which is talking to you folks, obviously, right? Educating, informing everybody, getting the word out. If you listen to this show, you're going to be the smartest people in the room when it comes to this stuff, folks. And this stuff touches our lives. It's absolutely, I always found it so intriguing, fascinating, right? Human nature is fascinating. But it's fascinating that we spend, I don't know how many thousands of dollars, right, on insurance-related products and services. And yet, most of us don't even get a blink of the eye. Think about it, right? Think about it. But we probably spend a lot of time and energy on what kind of phone we're going to buy, what kind of music, what kind of interior we want on the car. But the very thing that's going to protect us, I don't think we do a really good job with that, right? So we're doing that here today. We are raising everybody's awareness about something that is actually a very personal thing, insurance and then auto body. Right? Statistically, all of us are going to be involved in some type of some type of accident or collision. All right, every 10 years. That's not me. That's the National Auto Traffic Safety thingy there. So good stuff, right? So that's what we're doing here. I love doing it, and we're going to continue to do it for you folks. All right, so what we've said in the past is, listen, the insurance company, right, they want you to take your car to their, direct repair program shop, insurance-sponsored shop. That's for one reason, folks. They want to save money. They are a business. Right? They're not some mysterious, entity out there in the, in the Twilight Zone or the blogosphere, and you pick up the phone, you get some person sitting in some dark room somewhere, all right, and they answer your questions and they give you a check. Ain't happening. They are business, pure and simple. And like any other business, they look for ways to cut costs, and they do it where, when, and often. They do, and they do it very effectively. Insurance companies. Okay. So the insurance company, in many instances here, folks, they have a contract. May not be written, but it's verbal, all right, with their sponsored shops, all right, which encourages them to save money by cutting costs. All right, so don't be a victim of this, right? You listen to the show, you go to Collision Service Network, all right, you're going to be smarter than that. You're going to say, you know what, I listened to that guy. I've been to Collision Services Network, and you know what? I'm not going to bring my car there. In fact, I know I don't have to bring my car there. I'm going to go to collisionservicenetwork.com and find a great shop that's going to work for me. All right. That often results in use of substandard parts. Now, listen up. This is going to a body shop that's contracted with the insurance companies. All right. Cutting costs translates into the use of substandard parts, cutting corners on repair procedures, no color matching. Now, I personally have seen this because, unfortunately, I worked in one of those shops, okay, before I ended up with V&J. Okay. So I do have some practical knowledge of that. Cutting corners on repair procedures, no color matching, and repairing instead of replacement of some parts to save time and money. Right? Listen, this goes on. I'm not making this up. Right? This is actually what happens. Now, because of COVID and because of the economic conditions, right? I talked about this a few months ago. We've seen a paradigm shift in the auto industry. More and more of us are now owning our cars. All right? It's an amazing phenomenon to watch because I never thought we'd get back to this again. Right? But leasing is on the way out. In fact, I would say it's out. Okay, probably in very rare circumstances, it's something that most people are feeling it works for them. All right, both for expense reasons, for reliability reasons. Right, every 2-3 years, you got to worry about coming up with money, or you got to worry about getting another car, and so a lot of question marks now, right, in the future here with the weak economic conditions. People just don't want to do it, so they're buying cars, and that's great, okay, because now we're having we're having more of a personal investment in our cars, right? There's also intrinsic value again built into that now, right? But now that translates into, hey, I better be a little more involved if, God forbid, my car gets hit. Right? I should really know the people that are going to fix my car, all right, and why I should take it there. Right? And that's why you want to go to collisionservicenetwork.com. We believe the insurance company-sponsored or direct repair programs are damaging to the collision industry and the consumer. They operate as a de facto monopoly. All right, folks, it's a de facto monopoly because there are so many of them today. All right, all these guys that decided they were too lazy to make it on their own or to market their own brand or to advertise their business, they just jumped on the bandwagon and said, oh, this is great. The insurance guys are going to send me work. All right? I don't know how good that is for you and me, but, apparently they think it works out for them. They operate as de facto monopolies, undercutting fair market competition, okay? Driving down wages, limits customer choice, and perpetuates poor service and quality workmanship, potentially jeopardizing consumer safety. All right? Check out what happened in Texas when an insurance company-sponsored shop cut corners on repairs. The result was a devastating car accident which left the vehicle occupants horribly burned. All right, having a car accident, folks, it's no joke, right? Where you get your car fixed shouldn't be either, okay? But you're not going to make that mistake because you listen to the show. Insurance company, folks, cannot make you have your car repaired at their body shop. Pardon them. It's in New York State Insurance Reg 64, black and white, all right? And it's nowhere in your policy that says you must agree to their repair criteria and have your car repaired there. They cannot force you to have your car repaired or inspected at their location. You have the right to have your car inspected and repaired at a location and time of your choosing. There is nothing in the insurance policy which states you must comply with the insurance company when it comes to getting your car repaired or inspected. All right? And that it looks like we're coming to the end of another exciting episode of Crash Course Radio, all right? So listen, folks, remember, please understand your rights and expectations, right? Don't be intimidated. They're not some big bad, monster in the closet there, okay? You simply tell them that you listen to me or you go to Collision Service Network, you know your rights, you know what's expected, and you're not comfortable with that, and you're gonna choose a shop from our network. And of course, you're gonna what? Remember what I told you? We resurrected the old Nancy Reagan? Just say no. But we're not saying it to drugs, we're saying it to photo inspections, folks. Don't do it. When they tell you to take photos, you simply say, nope, I'm not doing it. All right. Folks, have a good week. We will see you next week. Thank you.